Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Let us start the session with the question, what is enrichment? As usual, you improve your comprehension skill, your vocabulary, grammar consolidation, effective English, mini mocks. Let us go to editorial vocabulary. Today's editorial is, good morning, is all about insurgency in Jammu and Kashmir, militancy in Jammu and Kashmir. A few important words are there. Let us go with the first word, ambush, an important word. Ambush can be a verb, can be a noun. What does it mean? As a noun, a surprise attack by people lying in wait means waiting for the right time to attack in a concealed position, hiding and attacking. As a verb, also same thing, to make a surprise attack on someone from a concealed position. Here, basic idea, hide and attack. That is known as ambush. Look at the example. The soldiers were caught in an ambush as they patrolled the area. That means what? They were patrolling. At that time, a group of people were hiding and they attacked all of a sudden. Then we say they were caught in an ambush. Surprise attack, trap, waylay. But waylaying, usually I give a different word. In the US, this is a problem. Good morning to all of you. This is a problem. What is a problem? A common problem that goes with crime, mugging. Mugging has three different meanings. One meaning, mug means the one that holds water in the washroom. Another word, mug up, lessons, goes with learning. And here mugging means, imagine you're walking alone in the street early morning or late in the evening. All of a sudden, a person appears with a knife or a gun and demands money. That person is called mugger. That act is called mugging. For that, we also say waylaying. Waylaying or mugging both mean the same. Here, opposite warning, forewarning, alert. Not exactly, in a way. Convoy. You must have seen many a time. Imagine the CM going this way. Then you see a lot of vehicles, front and back. The whole thing is called a convoy. Part of speech, it can be a verb, it can be a noun. A group of vehicles or ships, but usually in this context we say vehicles, usually four-wheelers, traveling together, typically one accompanying a protective escort. Convoy is part of escort. That's right. CM convoy. Very good. Here, as a verb, the same thing, to accompany for protection. The military convoy moved through the dangerous territory under heavy guard. Means a whole 10 or 15 vehicles going together. Caravan has a different meaning. Fleet usually goes with ships. It can also go with aeroplanes. Your aeroplanes, we use the word squadron. And here, this goes with gypsies. And you have to learn one particular word. I'll spend a few minutes. The word caravan, it goes with gypsies. Who are gypsies? They move from one place to another place. They don't have a particular place to live. So for some time, one particular place, after a few months, they move on to another place. They are known as gypsies. And that lifestyle is called nomadic. They are known as nomads. And what they do, they use a caravan. It's like a vehicle. When they move, they take all the stuff together with them. A different context altogether. Escort, a simple word. Individual, single, lone. Insurgency. Today's editorial, good morning. Today's editorial is all about insurgency. Insurgency means a revolt, protest, and also uprising. Part of speech, noun, an active revolt or uprising. Look at the example. The government struggled to suppress the insurgency in the rural areas. Insurgency in the rural areas, government could not suppress or control. Synonyms: rebellion, revolt, uprising. Important words, all the three words are important. Peace, compliance, submission. But comply, this is an important word. Comply is a verb, takes a preposition with, comply with, and compliance is a noun form. It goes with rules and regulations. Adhere to, comply with, very good, busy life. Kashmir insurgency, yes. That's the reason why they have written the editorial. Soldiers also dying. Here, comply with, adhere to, stick to rules and regulations, and that's an important word. Peace submission, simple words. Deploy. Deploy, we have got many a time. Obey also, you can say, very good. Deploy means what? To be in position, to place in position. It goes with troops. To move troops or equipment into position for military action. It may go with police also. Imagine in a particular city, there is a disturbance. Immediately, either police or soldiers are deployed. They take positions. Any eventuality, they try to attack. They try to control. Look at the example. The government decided to deploy additional troops to the conflict zone. Usually, we use this word when it comes to trouble. Trouble in a particular place, immediately the government deploys either soldiers or army or police. What are the synonyms? Station, position, arrange. Withdraw, retreat, displace. All simple words. Aftermath. We have got this also many a time. Okay, good. I appreciate that. Today, a lot of contribution from your end. Aftermath, part of speech, noun. The consequences, usually negative, or after effects of a significant event. After a particular incident or after a particular event, you see the negative consequences, then we use the word aftermath. Look at the example. The aftermath of the hurricane left the city in ruins. Three important words. Repercussions also you can say. Wonderful. I appreciate that. Gaming, B2W gaming. And here, hurricane. In this part of the world, we use cyclone. But if you go to the west, the US, and if you take the Atlantic Ocean source, whatever touches the US east coast, they use the word hurricane. And usually, hurricanes make a devastating impact. Based on that, the aftermath, after the hurricane, the negative impact left the city in ruins. Ruins an important word. Ruin as a verb, spoil. It can also be a noun. Ruins. Ruins as a noun, what does it mean? Backlash has got a different connotation. You can use that also, Nagesh, very good. And what is ruins? Ruins as a noun, the remaining parts of a monument. Imagine there's a monument, but you don't see the entire monument, only parts of it. Then we say the ruins. Yes, a ruin, spoil, destruction, catastrophe. Wonderful. Consequence, result, outcome, cause, origin, antecedent. You have to be careful with this. There are two prefixes. One, anti, A-N-T-I, against. The other one also anti, A-N-T-E, means before. Based on this, two important combinations you have to know. Antenatal care, before birth care. Postnatal care, after birth care. Important combinations. Antecedent, something that comes before. Botched up, an important word, a phrasal verb. Buffering, wait for a few minutes. Wait for a few seconds. Please have patience. Good morning to all of you. Here, botched up means carried out badly or carelessly. You execute a particular work, not meticulously, but carelessly and badly. Then we use the expression botched up. Look at the example, you understand. The project was botched up due to poor planning. Poor planning obviously Poor planning obviously results in negative impact. Here the project got affected because the project was handled badly or carelessly. Bungled goes with everyday English. A debacle, fiasco, they go with different contexts. Bungled, messed up, mishandled. Bungled and messed up, they go with everyday English. And mishandled, rather formal. Executed, handled well, managed well. Is it okay now? Augment. Today we talk about augmented reality. You can use that also. Augment means what? To increase. To make something greater by adding to it or simply to increase. Example, they plan to augment their income by taking on extra work, or they plan to augment their income by taking up a part time job. Increase, enhance, expand. Decrease, reduce, diminish. We have got all these words so many times. Enhance means what? Improve. Diminish, to go down in number, quality, standards, any of these. The next one, that's all for today, not too many words. Let us go to the editorial. Any editorial, the writer, the newspaper needs a particular event or incident that acts as a stimulus. Based on that, they write an article or an editorial. What is the stimulus here? A new trend. New trend related to what? Regarding militancy or insurgency. On militancy in Jammu and Kashmir. The key word here, militant, a person who revolts against the government, and terrorist, subtle difference. Militancy goes against the state or against the government. Terrorism, they attack at random. They try to attack innocent. Sometimes militants also do that. Militancy goes more with polity. What is the main idea here? India needs what? More than troops to combat. Combat means a fight, battle. Militants in Jammu. The editorial takes a particular stand. What does it say? Now they are deploying troops, I suppose. But editorial says India needs more than troops to deal with the militancy in Jammu and Kashmir. Tell your name. Why should I tell your name, Chaitanya? What is that? Demand or request? Focus on the analysis. Yes, you can use that. Revolt. Already, I have already given the meanings. Same, you can definitely use. 5 Indian Army. Now, what is the actual incident that triggered? 5 Indian Army personnel were killed on July 8th after terrorists ambushed an army convoy in Badnota village, which is 124 km from Kathua town in Jammu. This talks about a particular incident. What is that incident? The convoy was ambushed. Army personnel were ambushed and killed. How many? When was it? July 8th. And terrorists ambushed an army convoy, a particular place, 124 km from Kathua town in Jammu. The attack also came on the death anniversary of Hizbul Mujahideen operator Burhan Wani, who was killed in an encounter on July 8, 2016 in South Kashmir. Attack also came on the death anniversary, so it coincided with a particular thing. What is that? Someone's death anniversary, and the name has been given. Besides that, this is the fourth terror incident in the state within 48 hours. Fourth terror incident within 48 hours, that is disturbing. And latest in a series of attacks in the last few months. These have been going on, series of attacks. And if you look at last few months, this is the latest one. And in 48 hours, fourth incident. Especially in the Jammu region, reinforce means to strengthen something. Reinforcing a new trend of terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir, shifting towards the Rajouri Poonch area. It talks about a new trend and shifting from one place to another place. Now it has been shifted to a particular region. What is that? Rajouri Poonch area. On Now it talks about another incident. On June 9th, terrorists attacked a bus in Reese district, killing 9 pilgrims and leaving 33 injured. The day the Prime Minister Narendra Modi was being sworn in for a third term in office. This talks about another incident on 9th. What exactly happened? They attacked pilgrims. There's one important word here, pilgrims. Pilgrim means what? There are two words you have to learn. One is a pilgrim, the other one, pilgrimage. Imagine usually it goes with, that's what I'm going to explain, Kavya. Imagine a retired person, old man, old couple, because they are free, what they do, they try to visit on a single trip many holy places. Holy. When you visit a holy place, that is known as you are known as a pilgrim, and you visit many holy places. The trip is called pilgrimage. Pilgrimage. This is not the platform to give tips regarding conversational English or spoken English. This platform is only for the Hindu analysis. Please listen and try to enrich your proficiency in English. What was the incident on June 9th? Terrorists attacked a bus in Reese district, killing 9 pilgrims and leaving 33 injured. And it was the same day, the day Prime Minister Narendra Modi was being sworn in for a third term in office. This attack on the pilgrims was a new low. There's one important expression here, a new low. What does it mean? Imagine something has been going on, negative side, and this is like a record, negative side. That record is broken. On the negative side, something going down, there's a record, the record is broken. Then we use the idiomatic expression, a new low. A new low is an idiomatic expression. Touch the new low. This was a new low. This region has been quiet. Has been quiet, it is in present perfect active voice. A lot of students, when they see the word been, they think of passive voice, need not be. Here we have used the primary auxiliary be, the past participle form, as a main verb. I give a typical example. She has been a student. He has been a professor for some time. So you got to be careful. Present perfect active voice, quiet. Then you have got to be alert. You have to recollect two words. One is quiet, means what? Calm. The other one, quiet, very. Quite big. Quite big means very big. A quiet place means very calm, placid, tranquil. All these words you have to recollect. This region has been quiet for over 2 decades now, after being a hotbed. Hotbed means a region where some activity is going on, usually negative activity. After being a hotbed of insurgency in the late 1990s and early 2000s, this was brought under control by Operation Sarp Vinash in 2003 and subsequent support from the locals, especially the Gujar Bakerwal community. There was some sort of insurgency, a particular place considered hotbed for insurgency, but that was brought under control when in 2003, and later they took the support of the locals. Two communities, they took the support. With their support, they could control. Sentence talks about that. A recurring incidents. Recurring means what? A repeated. You can say in a way, but need not be all the time. Safe haven goes with terrorists and nefarious activities. For the terrorists, it's a safe haven. But here, hotbed means some sort of activity happening, usually negative one. Recurring incidents, repeated incidents of security forces being ambushed have resulted in casualties, which is unacceptable for a highly trained and professional force like the Indian Army. These ambush If you take these ambush incidents have been going on. Ambushes have been going on for quite some time. Editorial opines this is not acceptable. What is the reason? Indian Army is highly trained and professional. Highly trained and professional. A force like Indian Army cannot face or should not face ambushes and have been going on repeatedly, not acceptable. This call for is a phrasal verb, means what? Demand. You can use that also, ambush. This calls for stricter adherence to standard operating procedures and improved operations. The situation demands what? Two things. One, for stricter adherence to standard operating procedures, and the second one, improved operations. While the ceasefire along the line of control (LOC) largely holds, means it is in power, it is there. In spite of that, the uptick we got last week, slight increase. The uptick in terror incidents is a matter of concern. More so, the shift in violence. This talks about for some time it was like a lot of disturbance they could control with the support of the local communities. And added to that, this sentence talks about the ceasefire. Ceasefire means what? Stopping the war, stopping the fight, stopping. Cease means to stop for the purpose of peace or talks, or we also use the word like armistice, an important word. While the ceasefire along the line of control largely holds, it is there, intact. The uptick in terror incidents is a matter of concern, more so the shift in violence. There are many factors. Now, editorial talks about, says what are the factors behind and lists out two factors, the major one, another factor. There are many factors that may be leading to this trend. A major one is a vacuum on the ground with a large number of troops redeployed to the line of actual control in eastern Ladakh in the aftermath of the 2020 standoff with China. Because of the standoff with China, they redeployed a lot of troops where eastern Ladakh, and that has created a vacuum. Vacuum means what? Emptiness, or you can also say gap. This has resulted in a gap in local intelligence. Because army has been redeployed somewhere else, a gap has been created, and this has resulted, present perfect active voice, in a gap in local intelligence. There is also one more reason. There is also the increased use of modern but easily available technology by terrorist groups. Today, technology they are able to get easily and they are able to use the latest technology. One more factor, there is also the increased use of modern but easily available technology by terrorist groups looking to find new routes to keep the insurgency going. To keep this insurgency activity going on, to keep it moving or going, they are depending on new routes, they are exploring new routes. Botched up security operations means not handled well, badly handled. Botched up security operations have also damaged the trust between the local population and the state. Because they did not handle properly, you can say vacuum, void, vacancy. Vacancy we don't use, but void, a good word. It says because of this badly handled security operations, impact of that have also damaged the trust between the local population and the state. Look at the trend, what is happening right now. This sentence talks about that. From foreign terrorists crossing the LOC and leading the attacks, there has been a trend now to push local militants to the forefront to give the insurgency a more homegrown face as international pressure has mounted on Pakistan. What does it talk about? It talks about in the past, Foreign terrorists would enter the country and they would resort to attacks. Now, what is happening? They are pushing the local militants to the forefront to give a different face altogether. What is that? Homegrown face. Mean the terrorists are not from outside, the terrorists are local people. Why are they doing that? Because of international pressure on Pakistan. New terror groups have also come up claiming to be behind some of the attacks. These aspects present new challenges, new trend or a trend, new groups. All these are new challenges, obviously. Tackling the situation needs a multi layered strategy beyond just augmenting troop levels. What is required? Main idea is being reiterated. Tackling the situation needs a multi layered strategy beyond augmenting troop levels. Simply increasing troop levels, no use. Multi layered, not multi pronged. Multi layered means top to bottom approach is required. How does the editorial end? Quick and decisive action at the highest levels of the government, bringing in all stakeholders, is a need of the hour. An important expression. Need of the hour means something that has to be done immediately. So the last sentence is like a suggestion from the editorial. That's all about today's editorial. Let us go to questions to test your comprehension and listening skill. Read the first one and try to answer. Which area has seen a shift in terrorism activities according to the editorial? Srinagar, Leh, Kargi. No. Rajouri, Poonch. Clearly mentioned. Urgent, exactly. Something that has to be done immediately. Or on war footing. Question number 2. What major operation in the early 2000s helped reduce insurgency in the region? During that time, they could control on what basis, with whose help, how could they control? Or what was the name of the operation? What major operation? Operation Blue Star? No. Clearly mentioned Operation Sarp Vinash. B is the answer. Why is there a gap in local intelligence according to the editorial? It talks about the vacuum gap in the local intelligence. What is the reason behind? Lack of technology? No. Redeployment of troops to eastern Ladakh? Clearly mentioned. Poor training, insufficient funding, not relevant. What is the answer here? That is Golden Temple. That's a different one altogether. What technological trend is aiding terrorist groups as mentioned in the editorial? These terrorist groups they are able to access technology, but what exactly are they able to get? Use of drones? No. Cyber attacks? No. Modern but easily available technology. They are able to. Yes. It is not B, it is C. C is the answer. Question number 4. Good. I appreciate your response. Satellite communications? No. What is a significant change in the nature of militants leading attacks? Increased number of foreign terrorists, use of advanced weaponry, push of local militants to the forefront to give a homegrown face. Answer is C. Very good. It is not the first one, not the second one, not the fourth one. Push up the local militants to the forefront and the objective behind to give the homegrown face because of the international pressure on Pakistan. Let us go to questions based on exam topics. The first one, error location. Today the questions are rather easy. Those with grammar knowledge should be able to spot the errors within no time. Only one reading you should be able to. Read the first one. Growing friction between Philippines and China is likely to strengthen Manila's military ties with the US, but it could also affect its financial links with Beijing. When you say there's an error in a particular part, you have to tell why it is wrong and what exactly is the right word. That will help in the long run. Here, Kumari says second. What is second? You mean to say second part? Growing friction between. We are talking about two countries. Two, we have to use a preposition between, nothing wrong. But you, I think now it is okay. Read the second sentence and try to. First one answer I have already given. Here you have to use the Philippines. That's what I said. Perhaps because of buffering, I was telling about there's an important rule. What is that rule? I don't mind repeating. Usually we tell names of countries, proper nouns. Before a proper noun, we should not use any article. But English has rules, English has exceptions. Before the names of some countries, we have to use a definite article, the. What are those countries? The Netherlands, the Philippines, the Irish Republic, the US, the UK, the UAE. But three countries you have to remember: the Netherlands, the Philippines, the Irish Republic. They have given many a time. Read the next one. India's push for vaccination of girls against HPV raises questions on its timing, promotion, and pricing. Yes, the US, the UK. Very good, busy life. When you come across a question like this, the moment you see the word rise or raise, you have to be alert. You should be on your toes. And you have to look at the next word. Understand the context. Here rises what? Questions. The word questions is an object. That means what? This takes an object. Then we cannot use arises competitive exams. What are those two? One is rise, arose, arisen. This is an irregular verb, intransitive verb. The other one, raise, raised, erased. This is a transitive verb and a regular verb. What is a transitive verb? It is one that that can take an object. What is a regular verb? A verb that takes d or ed to form the past and past participle forms. Let us go to the last question. I think we have one more slide. The 1983 anti-Tamil pogrom led to an exodus of Tamils to India, which drew New Delhi into the ethnic problem. Raised, raised, raised. That's right. This is also an easy one. I gave the prefixes. Here we cannot say anti because anti, it means against. Ante means before. Here it is not ante, it has to be anti, anti. Anti-Tamil, against Tamilians. Exodus, an important word, means mass migration. And ethnic, related to a particular group, culture, ethnic ethnic fashion, important words. Where is the error? The very first part, there's an error. And pogrom means genocide. There's one important word you have to know. Genocide. Genocide, they have given many a time. What does it mean? Killing people of a particular race or community. Synonym of that, pogrom. But generally we use the word genocide. Someone tries to kill on a large scale people of a particular race or community, then we use the word genocide. So many important words are here. Let us go to the last slide, idioms. Try to get all the 5 correct. Massacre, mass murder, genocide, but of a particular race or community. That you have to add. Only then the meaning is complete. Still, I appreciate that. Out of the blue means what? Randomly, without warning, surprisingly. Green with envy means jealous, to be very jealous, envious. Gray area, something that is unclear, undefined. Caught red handed. For this, we also say green fingers. Green fingers also means to be good at gardening. Have you got all the 5 correct? 1B, that's right. 2E, 3A, 4D, and 5C. That's all for today. Hope you guys have got enriched. Have a nice day. And do remember, after the session, we provide the PDF. Join the Telegram group to access the PDF. And once you get the PDF, try to work on important words and expressions. That will help in the long run. Thank you very much.